Hello, my name is David Atkinson and these are my favourite NTFL memories. Originally born in England, but came to Australia when I was 10 years old. Lived in Sydney, lived in Brisbane, and I moved to Darwin through the process of getting on a bus and getting flooded in at Tambo, and then the buses went on strike, and then I got flooded in at Longreach and got my way to Mount Isa, and there was no buses because the strike was on, so I had to hitchhike across to Tennant Creek and then caught another bus which wasn't on strike up the middle to Darwin. So it was quite a journey, and by the time I got here, Buffaloes was supposed to pick me up off the bus, but I was 7 to 10 days late. So I dragged me and my suitcase to the old Darwin post office and we dragged it down the hill, and I saw a friend playing for Buffs, and that was that. My first game of football was at the showgrounds. The old showgrounds was my first game, and I got a game because somebody didn't get a clearance in time. So I was a bit lucky, and I won best player that day on my first game, and the rest is history sort of thing. I've been in Darwin since 1983-84, I think was the first year I came and played. And having played a little bit of footy in Brisbane for a team called the Western Magpies, Sherwood Magpies, and that's how I met Ian, and that's why I came to Darwin. And it was all, even in Brisbane where not many people came and watched, the big difference was when I come to Darwin, there's thousands of people used to come and watch. There was no, like TV finished at 8 o'clock, nothing else to do on the weekend. There was no entertainment, no games, no computer games, so everybody came down to footy. It was quite regular to see people hanging out of the trees watching games at Gardens Oval. My very first game I played, I was in the dressing room at half time and Tommy Lawler had broken his ribs, and the medical attention he got was to grab a VB box and some masking tape and tape it around his chest. That was his protection for playing the second half. Tommy passed away a while ago, but that's how my introduction to territory tough was Tommy Lawler and his VB box. And I used to live with the Bonson family when I first came, and I used to love talking to all the old blokes, Don Bonson Senior, Don Bonson, Lionel Butler, Jimmy Anderson. I used to love sitting with those guys and listening to the stories they had of Don Bonson being reported for attempted drowning in the forward pocket at Gardens Oval one day because the water was a bit up. I was very lucky. I played in the time when some of the greatest players ever to play the game anywhere were playing up here. I got the opportunity to play with Andrew McLeod when he was a young fella. I was his captain, I think, in 1992, and I played with Darryl White and lots of very good players I had to play on too. I had to play on Nathan Buckley a couple of times, and Michael Long, and Dennis Dunn, of course, was I think the only player I played on who kicked more than 2 goals against me, the only one ever. So there was always a good rivalry with him, but I played mainly against St Mary's. I played against his brother Kadji. He was a great man and a good friend after football had finished too. It really did change the course of my life. I was drifting a bit as a young fella, but they took me in, and just the enjoyment of playing footy and being a part of the culture of Darwin footy and the friends I've made, which I still keep today, and not just from the Darwin Football Club, from all the teams. Well, you know, one of my favourite memories is winning the grand final in 88-89. Unfortunately, I played in 8 grand finals, but we lost the other 7 up against, you know, probably the best St Mary's side ever played. So it was all good, and it gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of people and really be part of the Darwin community, which I cherish even today. It is such a change to be, like, have a big extended family. You know, the only family I've known, mum and dad, my brother and sister are in Australia, but I've never met a cousin of mine because I've never been back to England, and they're all from there. I do see one famous cousin I have now and again. His grandmother and my grandmother are sisters, and his name's Rowan Atkinson. Mr Bean is my cousin. My favourite memories are the people. Like, you know, I've lived in big cities most of my life. I lived in London and Newcastle in England, and a little bit in Brisbane, and then to come to Darwin, it's more than a family, the Buffalo Football Club. The people, they just adopted you into it, and I was one of those strays that they picked up. So it's just meant to me, it's giving me a direction in life, and of course my lovely wife Brenda has been by my side since 1989, I think.